Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, wherever you're watching from. My name is Emele. I'm not a financial specialist, but today we'll be talking about the interest rates from bank loans, credit card, overdraft, just from a user's perspective, because I believe it is high time people tend to, focus on these things because your interest rates can either make you rich or make you poor. Like I said again, your interest rate on loans, overdrafts, and credit cards can either be making you rich or be making you poor. Well, if you use the word rich, it's it's a bit confusing, isn't it? If you take your loan from a bank and use it for the right purpose, you can make profit and that can make you rich. But you need to understand what is variable interest, what is fixed interest as well. It's like having a mortgage, it's like having a house. If you pay that mortgage, if you pay the loan quickly, then you can save yourself on interest rate. If you decide to, leave it for that 4 years or 5 years or 6 years, then you have to pay the interest rates each month. So it is always a good idea for you to understand the terms and conditions of any loan you're taking, of any interest or any credit card or any overdraft as well. The time you spend in making that decision, whether you're going to take that loan or take that credit card, you should thoroughly also focus on the interest rate over time or per month you're going to be paying. It is really essential, like I said. A credit card can help you to solve your problems, or a credit card can increase your pressure level as well too. And from if the pressure level is not a positive pressure level, that cannot become what? Stress. So what I tend to tell people is that instead of you going for credit cards, loans, as well as using your overdraft, it's better for you to go to the banks of mommy and daddy if you still have a mom and a dad. Or you can go into asking friends as well, or you can decide to maybe ask your siblings if you've got siblings, because you can always negotiate the interest rate with them. Some of them they can even lend you without an interest rate as long as you are happy to pay it over time. So these are a couple of things you need to look at for first before you start thinking of going into banks. Can you negotiate your interest rate? Can you consolidate loans? Can you get things like balance transfer to move from this account to another account? So these are a couple of things you can play around with to increase that interest rate. Otherwise, you're gonna be paying lots of money on interest rate, and that cannot help you financially because your money should be working for you and not your money working for the banks. In as much as I am not saying taking loans, having overdraft, having credit cards, no, no, they are really good financial products to have, but only take them when you don't have any other options. If you know how to play the game very well with these banks, you're going to go back home smiling. But if you don't understand how to play the games with them, mates, you are going to be broke. And before you come out of debt, it's going to take quite a long time. You don't want that to happen to you. You don't want that to happen to your brother. You don't want that to happen to your sisters or happen to your family members. So, what you need to understand very well on this topic is, what do I need to do? I need to study the interest. How do I cut down the interest rate per month that I'm paying? So these are a couple of things you need to look into thoroughly. And like I say, study it. I didn't say just learn, study. Study it because you spend too much time to make that money. So you need to understand how to make that money work for you efficiently. You have to understand how to make that money work for you efficiently. So the last thing you want to be doing is to be paying high interest rates whereby you can get it at a lower rate as well. So these are a couple of things you need to look into and study it very well. If I pay more money, if I pay more than the minimum I need to pay every month on my credit card, what will it result to? How many percentage am I saving? Can I stop using the credit card? Can I use my main Visa card? Can I break my credit card? You have to start thinking, if it's a loan that you've taken, can I pay more instead of just paying the minimum amount required every month? Because the more money you pay for your loan, the more interest you're saving, and the more you know you're helping yourself. But if you leave it for the length of that loan or the credit card forever, then you're just ending up, spending money. And before you know, you become overwhelmed, and that becomes a bit of pressure on your side. And like I said, when it's not a positive pressure, if it's a negative pressure, it becomes stress. And the last thing you want to do with yourself is to have psychological stress, because prefer your money working for you instead of you paying interest rate to banks and other financial institute out there. So my take about these things is that you need to understand the numbers. You cannot run away from the numbers. The numbers are very, very important. So you need to understand, what is my balance after the monthly payment? What's the interest after the monthly payment? How can I reduce this? Where can I transfer money from? Or is there a balance transfer? Or where can I go at this particular percentage? Oh, they're doing it at 5%. There's somebody offering it for 2%, somebody offering it for 1%. So you need to shop around as well. The way that you go out there to look for fine shirts, fine dresses, and the rest, that's how you shop around as well. But understand the terms and condition. Is it a fixed variable, or is it a fixed, or is it variable as well? So these are a couple of things that you need to understand. Okay, what else can you do? Like most companies, for example, they look at their cost of production, they look at their selling price, and by the time they look at their profit, if everybody's trying to make money off, then why are you not also making money out there? It can also be on YouTube as well. You never know. Like this video, I've been thinking of, oh, I would like to do it, but I don't know where to start from. I said, okay, have I got a phone? Do I have a camera on my phone? I can start from somewhere. So it's the same mentality you also have to have. I need to pay attention to my interest rates. I need to look at it month by month. So I need to look at the statement. Most people, they look at the statement and they just go, wow, whenever am I going to come out from this? This is just undoable. And before you know, you start putting yourself under stress that you don't really need. But if you pay attention to it and say, okay, I'm going to audit my bank account once per week, and you'll be so shocked, the difference that's going to make. Because what you need to understand, that interest rate is like a shadow. It's not going to run away. It's not going to run away. So the better you take your time, look at it, look for the options out there. What else can I do to make sure I can reduce this interest rate? Like I mentioned, you can go to the bank of mom and dad and say, oh, the interest rate on this is becoming too much on me to bear. Please, can you lend me a bit of money so that I can bring down what I'm owing, so that interest rate can also reduce? And also look for a plan to also pay them back, because if you don't pay them back, if you go next time, somebody will probably tell you that the last time you were here, you promised to pay back, but you did not pay back. So that's what they call integrity as well, in borrowing as well too. So these are a couple of options you need to look at. Like I say, you always shop around. Always shop around. Never give up on shopping around. The time you spend in looking for designer shirts, look for this, look for videos, different videos. You can also use that to also look for different financial products and understand the terms and conditions behind those products. Call the banks. Can you renegotiate your interest rate? You never know. You never know with these things. You can actually renegotiate your interest. It may be possible. I don't know about that, but you can always check it out. Can you consolidate things together? So these are a couple of things that you can never run away from it. Never. If you face it, the better for you, because it's going to be like a shadow to you. Your business where you're making money should be a shadow to you. You'll be your shadow instead of things like your interest rate. It's not going to run away. And you can never clear that. So the earlier you look into it, do a weekly auditing of it. By the time you do a weekly audit of it, have a proper plan. Read books. There are books like, The Richest Man in Babylon. It tells you how to pay your debt. It tells you what to do. You need to increase your hustle to make sure you're not paying so much on interest rates. There are, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. There are different books there. That's how to manage yourself. You cannot run away from it. I don't know who you are. I don't know who I'm speaking to, but sometimes we speak from other people's experience, speak from our own experience. And like I said, the earlier you look into alternative way of reducing that interest or reducing that balance you're owing those banks, the better for you. Otherwise, you're gonna have a long day, years, just paying, and instead of your money to work for you, your money is working for the banks. The banks and the financial products are lovely. There are lovely products out there. The overdraft, the loans, the credit card, they are really good ones, but you need to understand how to you play the game. It is a game you need to understand. If you don't understand it, then you'll be stressed. And the last thing you need is good to be under pressure, but let it be positive pressure, not negative pressure. It becomes a negative pressure, that is when it becomes a bit of a psychological issue for you. And that's the last thing you need to understand. Anyway, my next video, I'm going to break things down and probably explain how you can sort these things out. And I'll go into specific things, look for examples out there, and try to tell you, okay, it actually works, because most times, most people want to see a spreadsheet. Most people want to see the evidence. How did you do it? How did you go about it? You can also increase your hustle. People have side hustles. Some of us are still looking for the side hustle as well too. That you can just say, okay, this side hustle is just for me to come out of this. You can do it. You can do it. Other people did it. You can do it. There are books to read. You just need to work on your financial skills, your financial knowledge. It's very important. You can't run away from it. That interest rate must come down. That interest rate must come down, 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 down. See you in my next video. My name is Emele. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm an end user. See you soon. Take care. Have a lovely, lovely day. Bye for now. Bye.